Neurostimulation involves different kinds of energy being introduced to the brain. There's photobiomodulation, that's the use of near-infrared. It's found to be extremely effective for regenerating the brain and rehabbing the brain. Pulsed electromagnetic stimulation. That has also been shown to reduce inflammation, increase blood flow. It's another type of neurostimulation. Transcranial direct current stimulation. This is where electrodes are placed directly on the skin and small pulses of electricity are actually passed through the brain. TMS is transcranial magnetic stimulation. Now that's FDA approved for the treatment of depression.
For anybody that's watching that knows what a PHQ-9 scale is, it's just a way to measure your depression level. 27 is the worst score that you can have, and 0 is the best, obviously. When I started TMS, my score was at 24. When I finished, it was at 6.
Neurostimulation treatment is an incredible treatment. When I have first responder clients who need help and need help now, I'm able to sit down with them and tell them about this treatment, tell them what their map says, tell them what protocol we're going to be using, and provide a guide of somewhere between 8 and 10 sessions when they're going to start feeling relief from their symptoms.
And I did 2 sessions, and they said, you should be good to go for sleep tonight. And I went back to the hotel room, and I slept for 11 hours straight.
There's a part of the brain called the glia. So you have your limbic system, and then you have the glia. Another word in Latin would be glue. And then you have your cortex. And the glia are responsible for communications from the limbic system to the upper cortex. When you sustain a trauma like this, that the glia would get locked up. They would quarantine the trauma in an attempt to protect you. And so you could have access to a memory, but you really couldn't move it. You really couldn't work it through. You couldn't make it go away. It wouldn't fade like other memories do. And so the impact, the intrusive recollection of the memory would continue on and on. And that's one of the defining factors of PTSD. The glia have calcium ions and sodium ions. When you use a specific type of neurostimulation, calcium and sodium ions surge right under the site where you place the electrode. But what we learned was that once they surge, they cascade and it becomes global. The entire brain surges.
Because it gets into the cells at a cellular level, into the mitochondria, and it allows it to release chemicals to rebalance that particular area of the brain.
Now remember, the limbic system is going to talk to the cortex, and if the glia are surging, then this is where we have neuroplasticity. This is where we have connectivity between these two systems. And they start to surge, and then they start to communicate.
And it puts the brain in a neuroplastic state, neurogenerative state, which means you can reform neural connections, neurotransmitters, dendrites can reconnect.
Now they go into an accelerated form of connectivity, of neuroplasticity. And if you have something there that is quarantined, it quickly gets released. Not only do you have access to the memory, but now you have the ability to work it through therapeutically. So I always say I'm the hardware guy, right? I fix the hardware, and then we have people that are therapists that do the software, right? And then they work with that person. We can stimulate the brain, get it moving, get it functional, get it plastic again, and then a person can go into therapy and do some real intensive work and work through these intense traumas.
And that's a necessary part of healing trauma is individual psychotherapy. So there'll always be a place for that. I just think that it can be enhanced by the use of technology such as neurostim.
By doing the neurotherapy in conjunction with psychotherapy and group therapy, then you can integrate these things and deepen them.
It changed everything. Like, I had 0 anxiety when I was done. My hypervigilance was way, way down.
It puts you in a place where you can reclaim your life. And it's really special when you see somebody get to a place where they've been in enormous amounts of pain for years, and then they find that peace. It's remarkable.